Hello and welcome back to my studio. Today has been an absolutely wonderful day in Florida. The weather was dry, it was beautiful, and I had just a wonderful, wonderful time. And the day began with a meeting of my embroiderers guild up in Fernandina Beach, and one of the ladies in my guild was destashing, so she invited us to take any of these materials that we might be interested in having. And by the time I got to the table, this one was sitting there, and I was just tickled to see the title because needlework embellishment is what I'm all about. So I just said, oh, how wonderful. Let me have a good read. This is a new book, and I know I'll enjoy it. So I picked it up, and I thought, oh, how nice. I thanked her and came home. And lo and behold, what I discovered was close to my heart in two ways. Needlework embellishment, which I love doing, but also a small binding and a nice heavyweight cover. And when I got home, I said, let me have a browse. And I looked at the first page and I felt the quality of the paper, and I thought, oh my, what gorgeous paper. And I turned over, and I turned over again, and I said, this can't be happening, that this beautiful paper is actually only printed on one side. And I quickly browsed through at all of these wonderful things about needlepoints, so you can imagine I'm going to sink my head into this to read all of these delicious things about needlework, and then I am going to so turn this book into a journal, and I've decided it's going to be a journal catering to flowers, which you all know, if you've been watching me for very long, that I very well love. And I'm only really going to have to gesso one side of each of these pages, and probably the front. I don't have to do anything on the back because it's ready for me, but I'm going to turn this, after I have read it and digested it, into a fun place because of the beautiful shine. It is just the paper feels like satin. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, okay, I digress. I was going down a needlework rabbit hole, but I'm going to set that aside and back to today's project. It was such a lovely day, and I was feeling so happy because my meeting was wonderful. I saw my friends again, and I was feeling yellow. So I got out my daily collage practice journal, and I went in my drawer that contains red, pink, and yellow bits of collage, and these are the pieces that I found. I did just a little bit of fussy cutting on this one, and these, a little bit around the edge of this. I didn't give it much time. I just did it as fast as I possibly could, and I thought, okay, yellow. And then I said, let me experiment, because I noticed that many people are doing some beautiful work with brush painting, and since this is graph paper, it's just aching for it. So I said, let me try two things. I tried Jane Davenport's Pirate's Gold and Tombow, olive green. And these were the effects that I got, and I thought, oh, I must do more practicing, because even though I was a teacher and taught cursive handwriting, it takes a little bit of concentration to remember light on the up and heavy on the down. But so I practiced, I enjoyed that, and I'm going to set that aside. And now I've also decided that I'm going to do a little bit of background, just a little bit of background stenciling. So I'm going to lift these pieces and set them over here, and lift these 3 pieces and put them over here so that I am ready for my collage. And I'm going to also get my tablet, because I did take a picture, so that I can kind of keep them the way I had planned them. And if you'll notice, I put my little cheat marks down for where the collage parts go. I'll be right back. I have to get my tablet. I forgot. Alrighty. There it is. And I'm going to stand this over here so that I can see what I have. I'm going to set aside my collaging bits, and I'm going to take out a piece of dollar store cutting board and use that for my stenciling. I'm using Ceramcoat Pale Yellow. Leaf green. Now most of my stenciling is going to be yellow because I'm still feeling yellow, because it's a happy spring-like color. And let's see now. I think I'll have some I should put this piece in here. There are 2 of these for $1 at Dollar Tree. And let's have just a bit here and there to remember that my focus is yellow. Maybe a little bit here. Yes, nice and light. Just a suggestion. And some more down here. And maybe some more over here. And it's very pale, but it's there. And I think just a little, maybe just a little smidge. No, I think I'll do this side first. And just a little bit down here at the bottom. And now bit of this green up in this area. And down here. If one is over top with the other, that's fine. And a little bit, just a bit going off the page. Whoops. Don't get carried away, Carol. A little bit over here going off the page. Not overthinking this. But just a smidge of thinking never hurt. A little bit more green. And just a little bit of the purple, because on this piece of my jelly print we have yellow and some purple, and this flower some purple. So a little touch of purple, but I'll be good and not lazy, and I'll trim this sponge a little bit. And this can go down here. Draw the eye back up there a little bit. And some over here. And this layer will be finished. Good. Put this aside to dry. I'm going to dry this, and I'll be right back. I attached this front bit to the back paper, and here they are together. And now this bit of yes. I do so enjoy telling my little stories with collage. And the flowers. I've got a combination of cut edges and torn, although I do prefer torn where possible. Now, whoops. Looks like the jelly plate paper is first. Okay, we can do that. And this one will be here. And this one here. Yes, okay. My early experiments with my jelly plates seem to work better than my present ones. Odd. But maybe if I use that jelly plate a little bit more often, I'd be happier with my output. Okay, we're going to decide if that one wants to go there. And this bit here and there's my little hash mark, so that one will go there. And my lemons. I'm a lemon flavor lover from the get-go, so I was really tickled when I found these in my yellow collage drawer. There's the mark for the stem. Give it a little bit of a twist if necessary. Yes. Now I used glue to attach this lady in the frame on top of this, and I'm not 100% tickled with the way that worked. Remember to stick with what I know. I'll just sit and hold this for a moment, and then I'm going to clean up some of my workspace here, because I'm certainly not a person who can stand chaos, and I don't do well in working in it. So I'm going to just clean this up a bit and then get back and decide what is going to come next, because after this, there's nothing happening in my noggin. I'll be right back. Here we go. The final touch. Heavy, light, over, heavy, heavy, light, heavy. Sorry I have to say this, but it keeps me focused. Heavy, down, up, heavy, 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 never figured out what over was, so I just do it light, heavy, 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 I'm thinking that I'm needing some more practice, but that is great fun, and I think we shall just call this bit of our journal jumble finished. Now I'm wanting the front and back cover of this one. These are my paper stencils that I bought a package of last year. And I'm thinking that this bird might be standing on a branch. Now let's see what this does with the bird. Yes, not too badly. Not too badly. Let's tip this around a little bit more. I think we'll call that mission accomplished. And now, instead of texture paste, I'm going to use some heavy gesso because I really want to cover, and I want this white to play up against that white. So, let's start over here. Here. This is a bit drier than texture paste, but it seems to be going on very nicely. Thinking I might have some difficulty with that branch. We'll see. I cannot pick this up. I don't want to pick this up for a look-see. Very, very opaque. Very nice. Not going to include, it says in the fine print that I'm not going to include the back bottom half of that leaf. Now I'd like to get these, but not that one. Let's see if I remember that. One of the adventures in art, living dangerously to some extent. Whoa, just a minute. Let me get my handy dandy. Alrighty. I'm going to have difficulty with those finer areas like that stem. We'll see. This is art. It's not done made by a machine, just Carol. So we'll just have to hope for the best. Okay, this is serious fingers crossed time. Well, almost. But perfection is so overrated. That is very, very nice. And now I've got this large situation here on my piece of paper. I'm thinking I'm going to use a baby wipe and give this a slight wipe. I'll be back. Now this is going to take quite a while to dry, so I'm going to set this aside. Oops. Okay, mission accomplished on that one. And the back cover, thinking this area. I'd like to have some faces peeping through. Well, why would you care about that, Carol? You're going to be using gesso. Let's get with the program, Carol. There it is. The paper cleaned up quite well. I left it on the countertop to dry, so hopefully it will dry nice and flat. And back to it. And now this one. Now that I'm not so frightened of it, and wondering if it was going to be a fiasco, it goes a bit faster. Then I have to fight my natural tendency to become overconfident. At the same time, not look for reasons to scare myself. Righty. Okay, I know that stems are not insurmountable, so this one. It's right around the hole, but that's okay. I'll clean that up, open it up. Oh, that worked nicely. Okay. Leaf on table. Why not? And let's hope. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Let me clean that with wipes. That looks so rich with that extra bit of dimension. I'm going to go and wipe this down a bit. I'll be right back. I'll try that again. I'm hoping that you have enjoyed this super heavy gesso experiment because it has left a nice but opaque layer of color on the covers here. I don't know what's going to happen next or what I'm going to do with it, but it's going in the direction that I envisioned. And I do hope that you have enjoyed Feeling Spring, my yellow phase. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment because I do try to answer all of them. Share with a friend, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. Bye now.